Hello, my loves. My name is Sitara. I'm so thrilled and excited to be here with you today. I have decided, I decided a couple of weeks ago that when I moved to this smaller island, I made a move. I'm on a different island off of the coast of Bali. I'm going to be here for a month or more. We shall see what happens with that. But I made the decision before coming over here that I would be doing a fruits and raw food diet only and incorporating a lot of juices. And I did just watch, by recommendation of a good friend of mine, watch Super Juice Me, which is on Gaia. I have no idea if it's on Netflix or anything else, but it actually inspired me to share more. I realized that I do a lot of cleansing. I do a lot of physical healing things alongside with my journey of spiritual growth and development and healing emotions and traumas and that sort of thing. But one of the things that I'm really quiet about is what I do to physically heal myself. And that's part of what I wanted to share. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you would have seen on my YouTube channel, well, you can still find them, the videos are still there. But before I left Los Angeles, before I moved, I was in a really bad place, really bad place. And I was still doing my weekly Transformational Tuesday videos. And for me, I got to a point where I was receiving too many messages of people asking me what was wrong. And I got to a point where I felt too vulnerable to share. I was in too much pain and I didn't want to go through what I was experiencing publicly. And that is the core truth of why Transformational Tuesday stopped. With that, I came to Bali with the intention of being here for 2 months, and over the course of the last year and a half has been quite the whirlwind, as we know. And through that experience, getting to Bali and recognizing that my physical body needed to heal, my physical body needed a reset like none other. The stress that I experienced in LA was horrendous. I got myself into a pickle trusting the wrong people that ended up being one of the worst entanglements I had experienced in my life. And what it did for me stress-wise was, I would say, traumatizing to my physical body. So recovering from that, and not only that, but recognizing some of the things that are going on in my body, as well as hereditary on both sides of my family line. There are thyroid issues. All the women in my mother's family, as well as my grandmother on my father's side, have all had thyroid issues. My parents' dogs have had thyroid issues, all sorts of interesting stuff around there. I, in my life, have experienced various forms of sexual assault, which led to an extraordinary drinking habit. I became really good at escaping, and completely unconsciously. I did not have the emotional capacity to understand what had happened to me, what was going on in my physical body, nor did I have the support to understand what was going on. So, fast forward a decade and a half, I started to understand, I started to recognize this. This was when I was about 26. I'm almost 33 now. So these particular wounds, I did not know how to really heal the core root of them. And that was part of what was happening in LA, is that there were mirrors of men coming into my world that were not acting in their own integrity, let alone acting in the integrity that would be a safe place for me. So I got myself out of there, and in the process of healing those wounds, I realized how deeply connected for us as women, our yonis, our vagina, if you look at it, it actually is very similar to the throat. And so a lot of the unresolved wounding and unresolved trauma that gets stored in our reproductive organs and reproductive system based on traumatic experiences around sexual assault also manifest in our throat and inability to communicate. The programming here in the throat around thyroid is also be nice, smile, don't say the things that you don't think other people would want to hear, that sort of stuff. I also grew up, and I want to be careful with how I say this, but I had some training around dissociating from my emotions. That if I had emotions that were unwelcome in the space, or if I was feeling, and I was a deeply feeling child, I had so many emotions, so many, my goodness. I don't think my parents knew what the heck to do with how deeply sensitive I was as a child. And so in a lot of cases, my emotions were unwelcome. And I do think, everybody did the best with what they could and what they had. So I'm not pointing fingers, there's no blame here. It's just simply recognizing what particular patterns created and manifested in the things that I'm healing now as a grown adult. So, some of these things that took place for me was not being able to have my own feelings or emotions around particular things because I had to present differently. I had to show up differently, which means I had to swallow my emotions, I had to swallow my sensations so as to not offend other people or whatever it was. So, I know I'm not alone in this, and I know this is why I'm wanting to share it, is because the physical healing journey, the physical healing experience is not just how do we fix our physical body. It's what is going on with the emotions that are trapped. And so as you start to cleanse, and as you start to heal, and as you start to meditate, and as you start to journal, and as you start to embark on these journeys, what starts to come up is repressed memories. And so these repressed memories have created an imprint in the physical body. Now, I have been doing all sorts of cleanses and all sorts of fasting for 10 years now. I started young. And where I'm at now, and why I'm choosing to do this 30 days, a month or more, of this fruits only and juice fast, is because I feel that my energetic being has taken massive quantum leaps. Massive quantum leaps. So the stuff that I talked about with the emotions, like I said, I've already been working on that stuff for years. So when the emotions come up, I know what to do with them. I know how to feel them. I know how to love them. I know how to neutralize them. I know how to work through the triggers. I know how to do these things. Doesn't mean it's not uncomfortable when it shows up. It's still uncomfortable for sure. I just now have the experience within myself to know how my internal world works, to be able to unhook and release myself from those patterns and that programming so that it doesn't happen anymore. But what happens is when you start to expand and expand and expand, and you expand your energy body and you become more aware of who it is that you are on a soul level, what starts to happen is you start to outgrow the barriers of what you've known. And when you start to outgrow the barriers of what you've known, what happens is this really beautiful upheaval, this like uncovering of these things that have been keeping you blocked or have been keeping you stagnant. So where I am currently at is I had these experiences in LA. I had really powerful and beautiful success in my business within the first year of creating and hiring a coach that was powerful. It was beyond. I had sold out my $25,000 mastermind to 8 people within the first year of hiring my first coach. So I had some pretty significant, like speaking on stage about it, success to inspire others. And then what happened was I wasn't able to hold the frequency, and I didn't have the support network in place that I needed to be able to keep moving that forward for myself. I also was building it upon wounds. I was building it upon wounds of trying to prove myself, of trying to get the approval of those who in my life I had never felt that I had gotten the approval from. And those are long and deep stories as well that I have shared in the Intuitive Connection Academy over the years as I have grown through these things. But ultimately what happened was the inside of my business that I had created with these big, starry, young, youthful eyes, I started unconsciously from the inside out dismantling and pulling it apart and changing the things and not wanting what I thought I had wanted. Not wanting what I had built, not wanting or desiring these things for myself that I had spent years working towards. So, I end up in this situation in LA. I come to Bali. I really start to learn what deeply motivates me, what deeply moves me, what deeply, motivates me to get in front of myself and to get out of my own way. Of course, the benefit of helping others and seeing others change and seeing others shift and move is a powerful motivating force that brings so much fulfillment. But ultimately, there's a piece inside of me that has to keep being fertilized. There's a piece inside of me that has to keep going, yes, I want more of this, right? That hunger to keep moving forward. So when I came to Bali, that hunger died. And I was still teaching with my Discover students. I was still teaching with the Metaphysical Club, and it's been powerful. I mean, those two things alone, and with Moon Club, have really been helping me to open so much more clearly to understanding me and what I am doing and what I want to be doing and who I want to be reaching and what kind of life experience I want to have and what kind of life experience I want to create for other people. Now, I know I'm here to do really extraordinary, beautiful, good things. I've felt it since I was a little girl. I felt it in the core of my being since I was a little girl. I felt that hunger. I felt the power. I felt this really significant energy moving through, and now I feel that I'm truly getting to a point in my life where I am able to embody it and understand it with my egoic consciousness. Because before I was never really able to understand it. I could just feel it inside of my body, and I could feel it bubbling, and I could feel when it would get activated, and I can feel when these really powerful things started happening, and the amount of magical stories and experiences that I've had that I haven't even shared. I mean, the list is so long because it's become so normal for me. So I want to share it with you. I want to be more vocal about it. I want to inspire you to also, one, not be afraid of yourself, your own internal power, and to not be afraid of letting yourself cleanse, and not be afraid of your own emotions, not be afraid of the things that are holding you back when you feel stuck, because we're going to be moving through this entire year together. The rebuilding after COVID, the rebuilding of all these things, there's a lot of new room for growth, a lot of new room for growth for all of us. And so that inspiration, that expansion, that passion, that movement, that excitement is more of what I want to share, because I do feel that I'm at a quantum leaping point. I feel that my energy body has grown extremely fast, and my physical body is having a bit of a bumpy time catching up. And I know that it is my food. I know that it's my food and also screen time. So I'm minimizing screen time. I'm doing some other things, spending more time out in nature. But ultimately, I know that my food is, if I eat fruits and vegetables and juice, my physical body is going to be able to regenerate the healthy, vibrant cells that are vibrating at the new frequency that my energy being is already at. So that's how this happens. You go through a spiritual growth phase. Your energetic body grows. Your energetic body expands. It starts to really feel open, and when it starts to really feel open, what happens is that your physical body then grows into it, and your physical body then has to match that energy. And because the physical body is made up of cells that are vibrating at a particular frequency, to upgrade and up-level those, it is so important to detox. And it's so important to support your physical body in being able to move in that direction, to shift that focus and to shift in that new state of being. So that is exactly what I want to share with you, because I do feel that I'm, like I said, just repeating it again, I feel like I'm on the verge of a quantum leap. I feel like my energy body has already taken so many of those steps, and to support my physical body in making it as easy and as gentle and as graceful as possible by supporting it with healthy, vibrant, living foods is the next step of my trajectory. I do have amino acids. I have some Purium products here that I also take. I have them shipped from the United States because I absolutely swear by them. So some of those amino acids I think are going to help my muscles go through the transition, because going to not have that much protein, I really want to make sure that my physical body, my muscles mostly, are also supported as I continue to just shift and move and grow and blossom in that way. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm going to be doing daily videos. At this point, I don't have a schedule at this is the exact time every single day, but as I do these daily videos, they're going to be here in the Facebook group, Happy Empowered Empaths. Then I'm going to be posting them to my YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, hey, thanks for watching the replay. If you want to catch them live, come join me on Facebook in Happy Empowered Empaths. I'll put the link in the description below. And you'll be able to, move along this journey with me. If you want to watch every video, great. If you catch every other video, just know that whatever the message is in there is for you, that your higher self, your intuition brought you to that video specifically to watch a message that is perfectly timed for you. So it doesn't matter if you watch it on the day that I do, and it doesn't matter if you watch it 2 months later. There is medicine in it for you based on what I'm going to be channeling through. So my plan is that I don't have a plan other than I'm going to make a daily video sharing what my experience has been, sharing what my insights are, sharing what my stories are, maybe even some of the memories, and just giving myself permission to feel whatever my heart is feeling in that moment, and allowing full permission to be seen, felt, and vocal about what that is. That is in part helping to heal my thyroid in and of itself, because I have these ideas that people don't want to hear, or that it's not irrelevant information. I have all these judgments in place internally around why I don't share some of these things, and then I see other people sharing, their own stories and their own stuff on different platforms, and I'm like, it inspires me, because I'm like, why am I not talking about this? Why am I not sharing these things? Why am I not vocalizing the powerful experiences that I have in the multi-dimensional reality that we have as spirit beings, and also the physical reality that I have here as a human? It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. So with that, tune in. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining along. And I hope you find it inspiring. Through the course of this next month, also, I hope to have my new website, new brand, everything up and ready to go. So watch out for that, because there's going to be a celebration there, as well as we grow and expand into this together. So with that, my sweet loves, I adore you. Thank you for joining me today. Please do feel free to share, comment, tag. If you haven't subscribed already on YouTube, please go do so. And go through and like all the videos, and just put a playlist on and leave your house. It's all good. Bringing those watch hours up. All things that are deeply supportive for me and very minimal for you, All right, my sweet love. I adore you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will chat with you again very soon. Mwah. Love you.